Hi, I'm Dave at G20 Gas Services. Today I'm wearing my Glow Worm hat, so I'm going to talk to you about the Flexicom boiler showing the F09 fault. You may wonder what you're doing taking advice from someone that has a chicken on the shoulder. Well, Debbie has absolutely no idea about the Glow Worm Flexicoms with the F9 fault. I, however, do, as I've installed over 500 of them. Okay, so 80% of the time you're getting this fault because your pressure sensor's sticking. And the way that you as a customer can clear this sticking is by altering the system pressure. So what we're going to do, go to the boiler. Now you may have that blinking F9 flashing in front of you. Don't worry if it is. Press the reset button. That's the little button that's under the display. You're going to need a pen to do it. Press that. It's going to show up 88 first of all, then it's going to show you the system pressure. Now it's going to do this for a few seconds as it tries to spin the pump and go through the diverter valve is going to move a few times. You're going to get a few seconds of seeing that system pressure. So let's assume that the system pressure is below 2.0 bar. We're going to top the pressure up. So what you need to do, the two grey taps underneath the boiler, you need to turn them both clockwise. This is going to top the pressure up. Now, don't worry if you can't see the pressure. Just count for, say, 3 to 4 seconds. Then press that reset button again and have a look at the pressure. So if before it was reading 1 bar of pressure, you want it to be going up to, say, 1.3 or 1.4 bar. By moving this pressure, it's going to move the pressure sensor and hopefully clear the little bit of dirt that's stuck in there, which is giving you this fault. If that doesn't work, don't worry about it, try it again. Just try it a few times. If your pressure is getting up to 2.0 bar or above, try the opposite way. Go to a radiator and bleed some water out of the radiator. You're going to need to catch it in some sort of a container, but let the pressure then drop to, say, below 1.0 bar. We just need to move that pressure sensor and clear any debris that's in there. Now, this isn't a sure fix every time you're going to get this fault. The fault could be that your pump has gone. The pump could be seized up, or the boiler could be due a service. The expansion tank might be completely flat and that might need repressurizing. Or the other thing is you could have a lot of air in your radiators. So maybe once the boiler's working again, go upstairs, bleed all the radiators, top the pressure back up again. But most of the time you're only getting this fault because that pressure sensor is sticking, and you can clear it yourself with a bit of perseverance. Okay, so if that hasn't worked, we're now going to get a little bit more technical. So on this next video, I'm going to show you, I'm pressing the reset button and we're watching what's happening. So press the reset button, we can see the 1.0 bar on the display. You hear 4 motor noises. This is the diverter valve moving. You hear 4 motor noises, and then the pump tries to kick in. Now you can clearly hear the pump kicking in on this video. You might have to turn the volume up. So you hear 4 noises, then click, the pump kicks in. The pump is working on this boiler, which is good. That's your biggest fear, that the pump isn't working, because that's going to cost you the most amount of money. So this is, the pump's kicked in and that pressure hasn't altered. It's still saying on 1.0 bar. That will go to an F9 fault because it's not seeing that pressure increase. What should normally happen if it's showing 1.0 bar, when that pump kicks in, that pressure should increase to about 1.1 or 1.2 bar, because it's got that pressure of the pump working against it. So long as the circuit board can see that happening, then the boiler is going to carry on going. If it doesn't, it will go to an F9 fault. So after them 4 motor noises, if you don't hear that pump clearly running, then it could be the pump that's seized up. That's your worst fear. That's a new pump. Depending on which Flexicom you've got, it's whether or not the housing of the pump has to be changed as well. If it's a later model, you can just change the pump head, which is cheaper. So this bit now is more for an engineer. The chances now is the pressure sensor probably is completely blocked up and might just need replacing. On a routine service, I always clean pressure sensors out, but I have a spare one that I take the pressure sensor out, quickly push another one in, because even though the boiler is drained, it will still leak water out of there. I take the pressure sensors out and I clean them out. I shove a screwdriver in. Probably shouldn't do that, but it's never done any harm. Put a screwdriver in, run it under a tap, clean it out. I then actually inject some silicone grease inside them, and it stops this from happening again. But if you're an engineer and you go into this fault, take a pressure sensor with you. They're not that expensive. Just get ready, get the O-ring on the pressure sensor ready, take the old one out and push the new one in after you've drained the boiler. I hope this video was useful for you, and I hope your boiler's back up and working again. I know there's a lot of rubbish out there about this F9 fault. None of it makes any sense, and it is a load of rubbish. This boiler's a good boiler. It just has this one little fault where the pressure sensor sticks with dirt. But you can fix it yourself. Just top that pressure up, should be up and working again. Next time you get it serviced, just mention to your service engineer, could you put a new pressure sensor in, or could you try cleaning it out? For the price of them, you're better off just putting a new one in. Okay, my name's Dave at G20. I hope you have a nice day. Bye bye.